y'all doing today? Praise the Lord. Guys, my heart is so heavy today. And I imagine what I'm about to tell you happened maybe a couple of days ago, but I just saw it yesterday, last night, actually. Actually, it was like maybe 3, 4 o'clock this morning when I came across this news article. And I am so tired. I am so tired of seeing these news articles of these children killing each other, killing self. And then people have the audacity, adult men and women, have the audacity to talk bad about these children. I've seen where 8 and 9-year-old have killed someone, all the way up. And then people want to talk bad about them. Then our government don't have no kind of mercy. They don't even stop to think, well, why did he do this or why did she do that? No one has compassion on the children. No one has understanding concerning the children. They may be in bodies that look big and look wrong. But to be in the world for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years is not enough to have learned the things that they need to learn. Hey. This baby is 16. Every week is something. And they get younger and younger, 14 and 13 and 12 and 11 and 10 and 9. But this one was 16 and he killed a 15-year-old. And all y'all think about is he killed. Why are these kids doing the things that they're doing? And I will tell you again and again and again. I've been telling you for years. I told y'all about the school closing when the father first told me, and that was 7, 8, about 8, 9 years ago. How the government was going to close the schools. And look at what Trump is doing. He's trying to close the schools. I told y'all maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago where the Lord showed me that the children were going to get ridiculous. They're going to get so bad till everybody is going to be scared of them. But y'all not listening. You're not listening. God is using these children to cry out right now. All this killing and stuff, this is God's way of these children crying out. He's allowing you to see what we are doing as adults, as a society. It ain't got nothing to do with no skin color. This is society in its whole. It's demonic. But no one is looking. No one is paying attention. Why do these children lash out the way they lash out? Why do they hurt one another? Why do they hurt themselves? First of all, most of them is not baptized. The majority of, if you ask the children that y'all have locked up over the years, some of them may be adults now, I'm quite sure they are, but some are still children. Some are still teenagers. If you ask them, I'm pretty sure every one of them, well, not every one of them, but the majority of them will tell you they wasn't baptized in the Lord. And I know a lot of y'all saying what they got to do, it's got a lot to do with it. If they haven't been baptized in the Lord and they're not, and people won't say, well, I'm waiting till they get grown. No, you have to give them spiritual covering from day one. They don't have spiritual covering, they're fair game with the devil. Even if people say, well, God protect them. No, the Bible never said that one time. one time. The only thing that it says is suffer the children to come unto me. For the kingdom of heaven is theirs. But that's not saying they don't need to be baptized. Because everything that is born of flesh is flesh. They too need to be baptized. Whether you want to believe it or not. The thing is, most of the Bible has been taught wrong for centuries maybe. I know it's been taught wrong for decades. But even children need to be baptized. That's one, they haven't been baptized. They don't have any covering. Two, they not being taught of the Lord like God commanded us to do. When he set the Israelites free. When he set them free from Pharaoh, from Egypt, he commanded us to teach your children. He said, always remember this. This is where the Passover come from. Always remember this day is what it say. And to teach your children and your grandchildren forever. That's not the word it used, but that's what it means, forever. People think that just because Jesus was given as a sacrificial lamb, that the Passover is no more in play. Yes, the Passover is in play. It will always be in play. Because he said, forever teach that to the children so that they will know and that they won't forget. He said, teach your children, even as you walk along the roadside, even when you lay them down to sleep in their beds at night, teach them upon their beds. So you still, as they laying there going to sleep, you're supposed to be reading to them or talking to them about the Lord and teaching them who the Lord and who the Father is. Teaching them about the kingdom of heaven. But y'all don't. Then another thing, the daddies, they drop their seed and they move on. There's so many children that's walking around that don't have a dad. And that is so important for them to have a dad. And y'all just dropping seeds and moving on, dropping seeds and moving on, dropping seeds and moving on. And then the mothers, they know their job, their God-given job is to stay at home and take care of the house and to raise the children. But they're not doing their God-given job because they got to do the dad's job, which is provide for the family. Mm-hmm. So now the children is being left out. They're being left out. They're being forsaken. And y'all don't see it. Y'all don't see it. If you did see it, you wouldn't do it. And the reason why I make videos and I always comment, mothers, go home to your children, because mothers, you the one that hold the power in your hand. Over 71% of the workforce is working mothers. Not working women, but working mothers. 71%. Over 71% of the workforce is working mothers. Not single mothers. Not women with no children, but working mothers. Over 71%. Mm-hmm. And y'all just continue to do it. But somebody got to pay the bills. When you mothers, some years back, women did a protest, and it was hundreds of thousands of women in Washington, D.C. protesting so that they could get a raise or so that they could be paid the same amount as men get paid. You had hundreds of thousands of women protesting for abortions, the right to have abortions. But why aren't you mothers protesting to stay home and raise your children in the manner that they need you to do? These children don't have no self-control. They don't know anything about self-control because no one is teaching them. Oh, you mothers can say, yes, I teach. No, you're not. No, you're not. All of these mothers that have children that is in jail, in prison, and some of those that are dead, they stand toe to toe and say, oh, I taught them. What if you taught them? They wouldn't be in prison and they wouldn't be dead. Now, some of those that are dead were innocent, but some of those that are dead was nowhere near innocent. Some of those were just as guilty as the one that's sitting in prison for killing them. Hey, Jesus. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Why don't y'all understand that it is you that is causing your children to be thrown away? It is you. Mothers, walk away from those jobs and go home and do your God-given job. If you're not ready to stop working, don't have any children. And if you have children, you need to go home and raise your children. Teach them that which they need to know. And I'm sorry I'm not looking at y'all because right now I feel so horrible inside. Every time I see one, I feel horrible. Horrible. Because I know you mothers could do better. And you always pointing at the man. To hell with that man. To hell with that man if he don't want to do his job. You the mother. You the one that decided to stay there with them children. You don't want to give them to somebody that will take care of them and it will love them. It will raise them and teach them the things that they need to be taught. Like y'all said, where rich people's women go to work, where rich people women go to work because they got people there to take care of their children. You drop your kids off at daycare, they're not getting no discipline. They're not getting no teachings. They're not getting anything that they need to grow up and be successful. They're not getting anything to help them to grow up, period. And then y'all give them these crazy games. And let them listen to all this music that's talking death and destruction. Playing games on death and destruction. And y'all think they got some light in them like they know. They don't know because they're not being taught. They being taught from the TVs. They being taught from the video games. They being taught from the music. And that is nothing but death and destruction. That is darkness. Their souls are dark. And they do not know any better. And no one, not even in the courts, stop to think about the child. What made this child do this? You don't care. You just throw him in the cage. Throw him away. Throw him away. Until it's one of yours. And it's sad that God have to let one of yours come from up under a covering. So you could teach. So he could teach you that all need to be thought of in the same way. Hey. Mothers, go home to your children. I am so disgusted right now. Go home to your children and raise your children. I seen this baby. He guilty of killing that boy. He is. But all you can see is the baby in this kid. All you can see the baby in this kid. He's still got a baby. He being treated like a man. Being treated like a man. The baby didn't know no better. Because he wasn't taught. No self-control.
First at 5, a 16-year-old learns he will not be getting bail after being charged with murder. Sean Simpson is accused of killing 16-year-old
before he found that out, he came in here crying. Because he know he wrong, but he had no self-control.
Under a law change which allows 16 and 17-year-olds to be charged as an adult in certain crimes. But that did not make things any easier for anyone involved today, as you just saw. As Derek Dellinger reports right now, the hearing only lasted a few minutes, but it was tough for both families.
The family of the victims of Quavius Dawkins, they were in court and they were quite emotional about what happened. You have to realize this is one of their first chances to see the teen accused of killing him. Sean Simpson came into Gaston County Court at points wiping away his tears as he stood before a judge. Just 16 years old, he's being charged with first-degree murder as an adult. That's as a result of a law change that went into effect in December, which allows teens his age to be charged as an adult in certain crimes. There was a realization that during this proceeding that the gravity was hitting him, a grand jury indictment that could come in the near future, and a moment that hit when a judge told him that he would not be seeing freedom anytime soon.
Court may impose a hold without bond. Court finds sufficient allegations to support the charges.
And the first thing y'all say, that's what he get. No, that's not what he get. It's not what he get. My son was killed at age 26. And the people that killed him, I forgive them. I forgive them. Y'all have to stop and think about what was going on in that kid's body. What was his upbringing? Did he have anybody to teach him right from wrong? Y'all, do he know anything about self-control? Y'all don't think about stuff like that. He killed him, lock him up. How you gonna charge somebody only been in the earth for 16 years? That ain't been taught the things that they supposed to be taught. When that baby came in the courtroom, he came in there wiping his tears. Because now he know he was wrong. He didn't know how to control that anger. Why? Because no one taught him how to control their anger. 16 years old. You got people 30, 40, and 50 years old still don't know how to control their anger. You got police officers, you got judges, you got some people that's up in the White House right now, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, and they still don't know how to control their anger. And yet you're going to throw a 16-year-old, you throw them away every day. Every day. Throw them away. Throw them away. Why? 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 It ain't no black thing. It ain't no white thing. It ain't no brown thing. It ain't no yellow. It's a society thing. This is a spiritual thing. This is in everybody. Mama and daddy got their mind on what they wanted on. Children sitting over here looking stupid. Being raised by all this hellish stuff. And all they got is dark in them because ain't nobody spending no time to put light in them. My daughter once told me, I'm giving them everything you didn't give me. They got everything they need. But where is the love? Where is the love? Until you can tell me that you love your kids more than I've loved you, don't say nothing to me at all about what you're giving them. And right now, today, she understands what I mean. But I thank God that me as a grandmama was able to be there for each and every one of my grandchildren. Needed or not, I wanted to be there so that they couldn't say, ain't nobody been there for me. I was there for mine. My daughter didn't understand then because she had her mind stuck on what I couldn't give her. She didn't think about what I did give her. I gave her the most important thing, and that was God. And then behind that, I gave her love. And then behind that, I gave her teachings. Not just her, but all the kids in my neighborhood. Some made it out to do good for themselves. Some in jail. Some dead. Some went to heaven, some went to hell. But they can't say they didn't know. Their parents wasn't there to raise them, but I did it. You came to Miss True House? They called it the Gert Troops. Come to Miss True House? Oh, you got hell of reputation. You gonna pay for whatever you do wrong. I ain't playing that. My mama said, don't hit me. We'll take your butt home to your mama. If you over here, when you mess up, you gonna get a whooping. And then I'm gonna tell you where you went wrong at. In other words, you're gonna get chastised. You gonna get chastised, and they did. They weren't coming to my house just to be beating on each other. No, and I taught them self-control. It wasn't just no whooping or no chastisement. They got taught self-control. They got taught patience. They got taught love and understanding. They got taught about kindness. And they got taught about boldness. They got taught about standing up for themselves. And they got taught how to stand up and how not to stand up. They didn't have no video games at all. Some Mormons finally came through my house, but before they came, we wasn't even watching TV, let alone playing no games. Baby, it was God all day and all night. And that wasn't good enough. So what do you think is going on with the people that ain't getting no kind of God? So Mormons came through and bought the kids a Atari, a Nintendo. Was it a Atari Nintendo? Atari? I know it was an Atari. And they gave them the game Mario Brothers. And then they had Mario Kart. All the games they gave was little fun-loving games. It wasn't none of that brutal stuff. Then somebody came over there with that car theme where they be, what you call it, Lord? The bad one, where they was driving the cars and stealing and beating. Thank you. Grand Theft Auto. And when I seen that thing, I threw that thing away. They never knew what happened to it. But Miss True happened to it. And as they got older, they began to play those games. That was at the age where I couldn't really make it disappear. But I always talked to them, let them know you shouldn't be playing that game. That game ain't nothing but hell. There's demons in that game. I always told them. One in prison now, one dead. But the one that's dead, it was a setup. The one in prison, it was a setup. Their own friends, people that they ran with. And that's a whole something that I really can't talk about because I ain't trying to get my son that is still alive, that's in prison. I ain't trying to get his lights took out because he was threatened by authority. I ain't gonna say which branch. Mothers, like you could go and protest to do all this and do all that. Protest to stay your butt at home and raise your children. Who gonna pay the bills? They daddy. They daddy. If our government got enough money to bring millions upon millions of foreigners in this country and give them money, they got enough money to make sure that our children are fed and clothed and the bills are paid, to make sure that these children grow up to be legitimate children and make it to an age where they could be acceptable to society and that they could add on to society. Come on, y'all. You got to get real with this thing. This is happening every day. It's happening too much. Schools being shot up. Movies theaters being shot up. Stores being shot up. People's houses being burnt down and shot up. Come on now. Ain't you tired? All those that has done happened to where their children are sitting in prison or either dead, they all said it would never happen. But it happened. And you think it won't happen to you. I'm a woman of God, and I was a woman of God when my son got shot and the other one got put in prison. The one that got killed, oh baby, I used to have him on the altar all the time. But he still grew up to get killed. He grew up to get killed. And those that don't have God, those that's not baptized, those that don't have no light in them, what do you think is going to happen? And why ain't they baptized? Why don't they know anything about God? Because their parents could care less. Their parents don't know God. Their parents don't care. And those that do know God, they don't even care about getting their kids baptized or teaching their kids. Why? Because I'm too busy. I'm too busy. I'm too busy. I ain't got time. But when the push come to shove and heaven and hell show itself, and then you seeing your kids go to hell and then you make it to heaven, how's that going to feel? How do that sound? I was coming home and I was crying out to the Lord, coming home from dropping my son off in tears. Could barely see, full of tears. And I said, Lord, let it fall on their parents. Because dad ain't doing his job. Mom thinks she's got to do his job in order to provide for the children. And ain't nobody doing the job of the mother, which is teaching the children and raising them, rearing them up, and giving them the understanding and the knowledge that they need to know, the wisdom that they need to know. Blame charge to the parents. Because the mothers, if you sitting up and you could get out there and you can fight for whatever in the hell you want, if it's got to do with that bag, you get out there and fight for it. But this has got to do with your children's lives. And you can't get out there and fight for it. You can't get out there and fight for it. It's not making no sense to me. Well, I need the money to take care of the kid. Well, once the kid is dead, who you going to take care of? Or once the kid is in prison, who you going to take care of? Who was you making money for? That child is either dead or he in prison. Now, who you working for? Because if you was really concerned about the kid, you would make sure that kid is well taken care of mentally and spiritually. That child is being raised up in the way it's supposed to be raised up. Y'all supposed to push that thing where their dad is the one that walked away and he's supposed to be the provider. Y'all get it from him. I don't care how many kids he got. I don't care how many wives he got. Go get it from him. He dropped this seed. This is his seed. He needs to take care of it. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take care of my baby. I'm going to make sure he's taught what he needs to be taught. I'm going to make sure he make it to be an adult. I'm going to make sure that when he do become an adult, he is able to give to society, to add to society, and not take away from society. Now they talking about closing the schools. Are y'all going to be able to, is you going to make time to go stand and fight for that? Or is you going to let it happen? Y'all ain't teaching them. The schools is half-ass teaching them. So is y'all going to go and let that get taken away too? God showed me about that, showed me some years back, and I've been telling y'all ever since that the schools is going to be closed down. And there was some kids out playing, and they was mad as hell. I gave them a Bible, and they didn't even want to believe in God. Don't y'all know that even though we have faith in God, we still have to do a work? Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. We can believe all we want to, but there's a work that needs to be done. And somebody was just telling me on one of my pages, well, don't you know we saved by faith? Baby, if you show me faith without works, then I'll show you a transgression somewhere. Because even though I may have faith, I also gotta have some work behind that faith. What am I having faith for? Or I just believing in Jesus? And that's it? No. What did Jesus say? Jesus said, when they came and got Jesus, said, your mother is here to see you. And he said, who is my mother and my father? My mother and my brethren. But he who does the will of God. Keyword does. Does. That key word. Who is my mother and my brethren besides he who does the will of my Father? Does is a what? Do word. A work word. Yeah. You got some work to do. You can't sit here and say, oh, I believe in Jesus. Yep, I'm clean. I'm going to heaven. No, you're not. Get from before me, you worker of iniquity, for I knew you not. You ain't did no works, and you ain't had no relationship with him. Because if you had a relationship with him, you'll be doing some works. You'll be doing some works. That's if you have a relationship with him. If you ain't got no relationship with him, then you ain't doing no work. But if you got a relationship with him, you doing some work somewhere. Somehow. You hear the call. There's a lot to be done. The devil ain't playing with us. The devil ain't playing, but y'all playing. Taking our kids out day after day after day after day. Not just one a day, but many a day. And one way or the other. Someplace. It may not be in my city today, but it may be here tomorrow. It may not be in your city today, but it may be tomorrow. You don't know. Get up and do your work. Mothers, go home and raise your children. Go home and raise your children. My kid's dad is a deadbeat. Well, if you came on up, if that's 71% of working mothers, was to go home and raise their children, then them deadbeat dads will have a job that they can go get. Even the courts can make it mandatory if y'all go to. I plan on going to Washington, D.C. this year. Hopefully, if God willing, and see fit for me to go and make a way for me to do it. And hopefully, I don't know how to set it up. I don't know how to do none of it. But I'm depending on the Holy Spirit or somebody to contact me to know how to do this. Because this is ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. The mothers need to be at home. 71%. More than 71%. It's working mothers. Go home and raise your children. The courts can set it up. The government can set it up to where the dad, if he ain't got a job, they can make him go to work. They can make him go to work. Well, what qualities do you have? He might not have no qualities. Well, you know what? Custodians, they make good money. You don't need no training for that. Restaurants, they make good money, enough to take care of your children. Come on now. It's a way to do everything. And if they did it that way, these men would think about who they laying down with. Quit laying down with every woman because she got a big booty and she look good. Then you mess around and get her pregnant. Now, oh no, that ain't no wife material. I ain't. And now you done walked away and left that seed. All you wanted was a good time. And messed around and got caught. The government started making mothers stay at home and raise these children. And these daddies go out there and get them jobs. I don't care if they can set up a little house where the men can, if they ain't taking care of the children, the men can pay $20, $30, $40, whatever. Set up some houses where the men ain't making a lot of money, where if you making 18, 19, 20, whatever, however much you making, you going to take care of that house where that first baby is. Or if you got to take up all of your check, oh well, you the one dropped them and walked away from them instead of staying there and trying to make it work. You the one left them children. Now that mama need to stay there and raise that children. I don't care if you got kids in 7 different households. Your check need to be split up between 7 different households. What you gonna have in the end? Do I care? No, I don't. Why? Because you were wrong. You the man, you the head. The woman is the backbone. You the head. She's the helpmate. You the head. If you didn't want that woman to be your wife or bear your children, you shouldn't have laid down with her. This is not for the woman's sake. This is for the child's sake. Everybody think about, you see all these different programs about the husband and the wife, or the man and the woman, or the relationship this and relationship that. But ain't nobody talking about the children. What about the children? What about the children? No, I don't care about what happens with the dad. I don't. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I raised 6 kids with the help of God and His Spirit touching other people to bring me when we need it. 6 children. And then a whole heap and plenty in the neighborhood children. That's who took care of me and my children. And when I say my children, I'm talking about all the children in the neighborhood where my children grew up at. It was different people in the neighborhood, different people from the church. Sometimes it was churches. God touched their heart. Take something over there for them kids. Need you to fill up that refrigerator. Need you to take them some gifts. And I don't even believe in Christmas. But God still send gifts, tree, all that. And I didn't even believe in Christmas. I still don't today. I don't celebrate that. It's a pagan holiday. Thanksgiving, Easter. I don't celebrate none of them. I celebrate Thanksgiving, but I celebrate Thanksgiving every day because I'm thankful every day. The life I've lived, oh baby, I'm thankful every day. Every day is a Thanksgiving for me. Every day. Man, don't think I live no real bad life. It wasn't that bad. But it's worse than some and better than others. So for me, every day is a thankful day for me. There's Thanksgiving every day. Y'all, mamas, go home to your children. That baby just crumbled. He was crying when he was coming into court, and the news wanted to put a spin on it. He breaks down in tears when he said, when the judge denied him bail. The baby was in tears when he came in there, before he even knew the judge was going to deny him bail. 16 years old, yet a baby. He ain't been in this world but 16 years. You got kids, I think they just killed one on death row, or 18, or he was 8 or 9 on death row. He was 8 or 9. Is that a hawk over my? Is that a hawk? Anyway, he was 8 or 9 when he was 8 or 9 on death row, and I think they finally executed that baby. 8, 9 years old. And you still got some on death row. Death row. What can a 8, 9-year-old kid be undone to the point where you put him on death row? Where you carry out a death sentence on a kid that only been in the earth 8, 9 years. I don't care how bad that kid is. Why is that kid that way? That's the question. Why? And what can we do to stop other kids from becoming that way? Go home to your children. Whether you believe in Satan or not, the bastard is real. He's real. Whether you believe in God or not, he's real. I was talking to a man last night. Something just wanted me. I just wanted a candy bar. And I was fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. I said, well, let me go and get this candy bar. Maybe that's the Lord telling me to go into to the store. So I went to the store, and there was a guy there, and we got to talking, because he was talking about how his daughter is grown, and how he be stressing another woman. I said, y'all better stop stressing on them grown kids. Say, if y'all don't talk them right, if y'all don't put the right thing in them children, y'all stop stressing them. They gonna mess around and give you a heart attack. You gonna die stressing over them children. I say, if they grown and you know you don't tell them the right thing, when you see them cutting up or you see something going on, you pray about it. Pray about it and leave it in God's hand and let God take care of it. You can't pray and stress and pray. If you're gonna stress, then don't pray. But if you're gonna put it in God's hand, put it in God's hand. He told me he didn't believe in God. He believed his mama is God. I tried it. I'm not going to tell you the whole conversation, but I asked him, I say, so you believe your mama God? He say, you just like my mama. My mama be like, don't you put that on me. I'm not your God. And we laughed and talked for a while. And I asked him, I say, so if she God, then who is her God? He said, her mama and daddy. I said, who is they God? They mama and daddy. I say, so all the way back to the beginning of your family, who created them? A seed. And this man's 61 years old. He said he'd have read the Bible, he'd have got baptized on it, but he don't believe in God no more. I said, a seed? Well, who created the seed? He said, it just was. I said, boy, if you don't go with your foolishness. He said, really, my God is my mama and my daddy. He said, people don't want to give women, they say that's why women are treated so bad, because women are the goddesses of this world. Women are the God. Ain't no such thing as God. Women is the God. I said, no, we not a God. I said, without a seed, a woman can't bear a child. A woman can't have the fruit. And he said, yeah, but without the womb, a man can't have a fruit, no matter if it was seed or not. I said, okay, so let's put that together. Without the man's seed, a woman can't have the fruit. And without the woman's womb, the man's seed ain't no good. So what? That's a 50-50 thing, right? You need the seed and you need the womb. You need the seed and the egg. So, if you got the seed and you ain't got no egg, you ain't having no kid. If I got an egg and ain't got no seed, I ain't having no kid. So we need each other. It's a 50-50 thing. So who created this? Who created all this? Women. I said, where did they come from? A seed. Where did the seed come from? It just was. Just don't want to believe in God. Are y'all following what I'm saying? Teach your children of God. Get them children baptized from day one. If your kids is 14, 15, they supposed to make their own decision now. But I'm talking about from birth to like around 12, 13, it's on you to make that decision. Keep them kids covered. The devil don't care how old they is. He don't care. He will overtake them too. Happily. The younger, the better. The younger, the better. That's a slap. That's a direct slap in God's face. Yeah. Yeah. When the devil is able to take over one of his little ones, that's a direct slap in the face of the Father. Cover these children and teach them. Mothers, go home and raise your children. Dads, take care of these children. Stop having these sex dropping seeds all over the place. And then we got a jail cell full of kids. And y'all want to be stuck on that stupid. That's can't stay black. No, they ain't got nothing to do with them being black. It got to do with the parents not doing their job. And society causing it and helping it along. Stand up for these children. And if there's anybody out there that believe in what I'm saying, please contact me. Drop me something in the comment section so that I can contact you. Please. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave my email in the comment section. Contact me, please. Because I want to stand before Congress. I don't know how to do all of that. But I'm willing. I'm willing to stand before Congress and ask them to make a law where the mothers is able to stay at home with their children. It was Congress that made a law for mothers to have to go to work. It's going to take Congress to undo that law so that the mothers can stay at home and raise these children. We're watching too many of our children die. Too many of them being locked up in cages. They're just babies. Not even a quarter century years old. God gave me a dream. He gave me the dream where the schools was going to close. And here it is coming to pass. He gave me a dream. And I had made some videos when it was fresh on my mind. And I put them on Facebook. But I think they done took them down. Went looking for them last night. And I couldn't find them. And he gave me a dream where the children they had just overruled the land. I don't know, he didn't show me how it happened, but he did show me that even the police, the government, everybody was afraid of the youth. They was afraid of the youth because, and it was like they didn't have no parents. They had parents, but they didn't have any parents. Are you understanding what I'm saying? They had parents, but the parents was not in play. Why wasn't the parents in play? Because the parents didn't give a damn, just like it's showing today. The parents don't give not one damn. And they say they do, because they thinking about stuff and not their souls. Thinking about stuff and not teaching these children nothing. And we pulled up at a gas station. It was me and my grandkids. I was driving a van. It was me, my grandkids, and my son, one of my sons. And actually, I think two of my sons was there. And we pulled up in the gas station. And it was a whole bunch of kids where they should have been in school, but it was a whole bunch of kids. And I got out the car to go in the gas station, and the kids was harassing this one guy. They ended up robbing that guy and killed that guy. Then when I was coming out the gas station, they act like they wanted to do something to me. And my grandkids got out the car and said, And something like that. I can't really remember because it's not fresh, but I know they was trying to mess with me, and we had to get up out of there in a hurry. I made it back to the van, and we had to get up out of there in a hurry. Then there was some more guys, grown-ups, came up to the gas station as we was trying to get out. And the boys and the girls that were standing around the gas station, they got hold of them too. And then one kid, the dad was sending out, and he thought his kid was a good kid. His kid wasn't a good kid, but the dad told him to go get something from the store. Turns out that the dad was actually sending that kid out to do dirt. But in my dream, I was thinking that he thought that the kid was a good kid, but he wasn't a good kid. The dad was telling him to go out there and do some dirt. And he went and met up with the other kids at the gas station. And then it was like I saw a aerial view. It was like that every place. The kids had just, it was like the kids had just took over. And it wasn't nothing nobody could do. The kids be doing something, they call the police was scared, wouldn't even come out. The kids had taken over. Now don't quote me on this, street, but that's pretty much of what had happened. I just remember that the kids was at the gas station and they was robbing and killing folk. And one of the dads sent the kid out, and he was sending him out to do dirt. And they came at me, and something happened. I can't remember, but I think my grandkids got the car, and maybe they didn't, or they just pulled over there to me, and I got in the car and we took off or whatever. But something happened, and then it was like I saw everything. It was like that everywhere. These kids had just took over because the parents didn't give a damn. You didn't care to raise them, and they ran amok. And one thing that y'all don't understand, yes, it's you think that it's more adults than it is children. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't look at the statistics on that. But I can say this. Youth have imagination. Adults have imagination, some of them. Most adults don't have imagination anymore. But some adults have imagination. And I know y'all thinking, well, the military handle that. Well, maybe. But if the right children get together and they use their imagination, they can even take down the military. Believe it or not. They can take down the military. Y'all, it's time to get this thing right. This is not a laughing matter. This is not something that you need to keep playing with. It's time to stand up and stay at home with these children and raise them. The government needs to do something, so that the mothers can stay at home and raise these children. There's no way that the government can say they don't have the money to do that. They already showed us that they have the money to do that when they invited all these millions of illegal immigrants over here from all countries, borders open all around. And what the government do, they were able to, they're making sure that they're taken care of. So if they're able to do this with the immigrants, then they're able to do it with their own people. Our government is worse than infidels if they cannot take care of their own home before they're able to take care of someone else. They send out billions and trillions of dollars over to different countries for different wars that don't even make sense. Just giving away our money. So if they could do that, then they can make sure that our children are taken care of. Our families is taken care of to the point where a mama can stay at home and raise her child. People want to look at things so crazy and be thinking the most foolish things. And it don't make sense. And in the end, the child is still left out in the cold. Y'all done been here for 48 minutes. I ain't mean to be here this long. But guys, my heart is so heavy today. It is so heavy. And it don't make sense for our children to continue to do this daily. And it's all because they do not have any home upraising. Their mama ain't teaching, mama ain't doing what she's supposed to do. Do you know the difference that a home cooked meal would do in a child's belly versus McDonald's or Burger King or Chick-fil-A or Chick-fil-A? Do you know the difference in that? Do you know that a meal that is cooked out of the love of their mother's heart with her own hands, do you know what that does to a child's soul? Do you know? Try it out and you'll see. Y'all, I love y'all with the love of Christ. And I'm not sorry. I'm not. Dads, y'all got to get y'all shit together. Father, forgive me for putting it like that. You got to get it together. You got to get it together. The kids is the one that's paying for your foolishness. And mothers, you being foolish too, because you are allowing it to happen. You ain't got to work to take care of these kids. The children, the daddies is the one that's supposed to take care of them. You supposed to take care of the home and the children. That's your job. You're neglecting your job that God gave you to do when you're not raising your children and teaching them right. Yes, God sees what's going on, but God is tired of it too. I've been talking for years now. Years, 5, 6, 7 years now. Longer than that, even before I came to Ohio from Michigan. God been having me cry out about these children. So actually since 1999, I've been crying out for the children. 99, and this is 2025. And what has been done? Not a doggone thing. It's just got worse and worse. And it's going to get worse and worse unless you stand up and do what you're supposed to do. And again, I asked the Father to put it on the chart. All these children that's being killed, and all these children that's going to prison for killing them. I asked God to don't even lay it on don't put it on their charge, put it on the parents' charge, because the parents is the ones that's neglecting to teach them self-control and respect of self and respect of others. It is the parents' fault. I even be hearing people talking about parent ain't got nothing to do with that. The devil is a lie. The parent got a lot to do with it. A lot. If you working a job and you're not taking care of your children, teaching them the right way, and if you working a job, you not teaching them. You're not giving that child what they need and deserve. You giving them stuff, and that's all you giving them. Give them spirit. Now, I love y'all with the love of Christ. Until next time, peace. I love y'all. And do something about raising these children correctly.